Yo, what's going on? For those that travel, to places like Africa, Central and South America, and the Caribbeans, you notice like when you were about to enter some of these countries, as your plane landed, you flew over, shacks, or maybe you didn't fly over communities that were like that. But once you got off the airplane and you took a taxi to your hotel, you passed by a town or community where there was shacks, you know what I'm saying? People that were, poor. They ain't had no lights, they ain't had no running water and stuff like that. And you just shook your head like, man, that's messed up. Or you just really didn't look that way. When you pass by those communities where you knew those people over there were poor. They didn't have the things that you have in America. They couldn't afford to live in the nice communities that you lived in or that you live in. They couldn't afford to go out to eat, and let alone buy, meat, and fruits and vegetables. Practice a well-balanced breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day like you can. She wasn't concerned about that. You just nodded your head and just, didn't really think too much about those people that were going through things. That wasn't your problem. You didn't have anything to do with it. You were, whether you were visiting the Caribbean islands, Central, South America, Mexico, Africa, the only thing that you were here for, you were on vacation and you wanted to get away from the problems. You didn't want to see them. So you got to your hotel, it might have been a resort, or you might have rented an Airbnb in a nice fancy house, or, a condo, townhome, or something like that. And you spent a lot of the days, most 99.9% of the days while on vacation and, resorts and on a beach and just nice areas. You wasn't concerned about the poor people on the other side of town, or on the other side of the beach. And then after your vacation was over, of course you did your Instagrams, your selfies, you took pictures and everything, and to let everybody know that you was on vacation, you was having a good time, and that this place is beautiful. Once you finished your vacation and took all the pictures that you had to take and posted them on Instagram and YouTube videos and all the rest of that stuff, you left. And you went back to your nice, cozy home. With central heat and air. With electricity never goes out. Back to your luxury cars. Back to the American dream. And now that your American dream has been compromised, now that your man Donald Trump, the person that you voted for, has increased tariffs, now that the economy is bad and you're losing money. You got laid off to fight from your job. You're fighting every day, hyperinflation, funflation, stagflation, shrinkflation. Now that poverty is slowly but surely creeping up to your door, you want someone to feel sorry for you. But did you feel sorry for those people when you went on vacation that you rode by, that were poor? Did you feel sorry for them? Or did you just roll your window up and just said, hey, you know what? That's their problem. Now you want someone to feel sorry for you, being that poverty is slowly but surely creeping at your door. How does it feel? How does it feel? And I know you may ask me, well, how do you know how it feels? Well, shit, I've been black all my life. And it seems as though that even though I've been living in a first world all my life, country called America, it seems as though I've been treated like I'm a third world country citizen. Because I know what poverty feels like. I know what the lack of resources feel like. And I empathize with people that's going through that. But you didn't. So therefore, why would anyone feel sorry for you? You know they got houses for sale on Amazon? Elon Musk, he's selling small houses. Sooner than later, you know that Shanky Town or the communities that had shacks, when you were flying over, you could see them down below. Or the areas that you pass by before you got to your hotel in these third world countries. Well, guess what? You're going to be experiencing that in the United States coming soon. There are going to be tons of communities where people had enough money to afford a small house. Or the houses that they have for sale on Amazon, $65,000. Some I saw I've seen like around $6,000. Just depends on what you want. You want a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom? Amazon will deliver that shit. Plop it on some land for you. See, Americans are going ape shit in America because now they're experiencing with what a lot of other people are experiencing around the world. That's what it's like to live in a third world country. What it's like to live in a third world country. What it's like to go to the grocery store and food is so fucking high to the point where you got to grow your own food. It's gotten to that point. And if it hasn't gotten to that point with you, well, I'll give it a couple more months. Give it a couple more months. And after those couple more months, shit, a box of goddamn macaroni that used to be $2.39 will probably be $6.39. America is not turning into a third world country. It's been that for a while. It's just that Americans are too delusional to see it with their own eyes. Straight up. And other Americans know it. Other Americans have traveled outside of America and they see poverty. Straight up. In these third world countries. So they know it. They could see it. When they get back home in America, they like, yo, this shit ain't no different from where I left. When I left out of the country. But let me tell you something about these third world countries, so-called third world countries. You know, it's something that America doesn't have. Straight up. That I've seen with my own eyes in these so-called third world countries. It's family. It's family. It's love for self and kind in nature. That's something that America doesn't have. Appreciation for the land. It's like, how in the world can these people in these so-called third world countries be happy but not have the material things that the average American has? I know. Because they don't put materialistic things in their lives first. They live their lives. And it doesn't matter whether they got the fancy car and live in a big ass house. They got all this money. That shit don't matter. What matters the most is family. What matters the most is a peace of mind. The time to sit down and enjoy, you know what I'm saying, a good meal with your family. Yeah, you might have had to bust your ass throughout that day, but at the end of the day, you and your family sat down and ate a good meal and laughed and hugged each other and cared and loved on one another. That's not what that average American does. And I'm not going to say I feel sorry, because you get what you deserve. What I will say is I feel a little bad. Not bad in the way like I feel sorry for them. I feel bad like, damn, out of all these years, you still couldn't get it through your thick skull that America is not this country that you thought it was. Especially for the non-blacks. Like as if, you know what, the blacks and the minorities, they're the slaves. They're the ones that go through poverty. You know what I'm saying? If I vote for Donald Trump, he gonna put the black and the browns in check. I'm gonna be all right. The reason why I'm gonna be all right, because I'm white. And I have what you call white privilege. And that's never gonna go away. That's never gonna fade away. And little do you know, you had to fuck around and find out the hard way. That only the elite care about the elite. Only the wealthy care about the wealthy. You see, let me tell you something. They're building bunkers. I did a video about, about a year and a half ago about the rich and wealthy are building bunkers because they know that something is coming. Whether it's a collapse in the economy or some aliens coming down to invade the planet Earth, as far as that may sound. But they know something is coming. Something is up. People like Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey, and the likes, Elon Musk, and the likes are building underground bunkers. Now the question is do you have a room or a space in their bunkers, underground bunkers that is? Have they laid out a space for you? Is the question. Do they have an underground apartment complex bunker for all you non-blacks that thought that your white privilege was going to get you far? Or is it that when the shit hits the fan, you're going to be right along with us, poor black people? Because guess what? Little did you know, you're poor your damn self. When it comes to the elite. The elitists. You had to find out the hard way, man. And that's real talk. Donald Trump is bankrupting America. And it don't matter. It don't matter to these people. It's not like they're losing any of their money. They're not. It's not like their lifestyle and the things that they go on, that that they normally do is at risk. Just think about it. Donald Trump was playing golf a couple of days ago, and they did an interview with him, and he was like, "Yeah, I won the championship," or some stupid shit he was playing, as far as dealing with golf, some championship or some shit. He don't care about the American people. But see, your non-blacks were so concerned about black people and minorities getting ahead, like living in your neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying, going to your schools and shit. It's to the point where you put your foot in your own mouth. So my point in making is that you voted for your own demise in order to hurt us. Look where that got you. Shit is crazy. You can't tell me that America is not a third world country or on its way to being one. You can't. I've traveled. I'm not well traveled, but I got a few stamps on my passport, in my passport book. And I can tell you, when I look at what's going on in America, how Americans are struggling right now in comparison to these so-called third world countries that I visit, I'm like, yo, this shit ain't no different. The only difference is those so-called third world countries over there, they know just how valuable living is. Straight up. And they ain't gonna, that's the reason why you got Caribbean time. They ain't gonna move but so fast. Yeah, they gonna get the job done, but while in the process of them getting the job done, whatever they gotta do, as far as money-wise, they gonna have fun. They gonna be with family because they know what's most important. But Americans don't. And Americans are gonna learn the hard way. They're gonna fuck around and find out the hard and long way that no matter how many jobs you work, no matter how many college degrees you have, that sooner than later, if it haven't already, inflation, hyperinflation, funflation, shrinkflation, the economy, tariffs, all that shit is going to catch up to you. You can't outrun this storm that is approaching. You can't. And this is not me saying this. This is white folks that have been studying the economy for years, and they're saying that this shit has never happened and blah, blah, blah. And I can hear the fear in their voice. This is the end of America. And people don't even realize it. America would never be the same. They say on the news where, don't worry about nothing. All these countries are trying to make deals with Trump. The phone is ringing off the hook, at the White House and this and that and so forth. But the major countries like the superpowers, your Russia, your China, Japan and all, Europe, they like, man, shit, please. We're going to find another way. We're going to work around America. Tell me what's the difference? All these, the Caribbeans, that's a fact. Most of their food is imported. They get most of their foods and goods are imported. Same thing in the United States. We don't make, America doesn't really produce really not that much. Like all of our shit is imported from Mexico, China, Canada. Shit. And Americans talking about something, they ain't gonna get out there and pick no, deal with agriculture, because I ain't picking no oranges and no apples and none of that shit because they don't pay much. It's going to get to the point where you're going to have to take that job, because that's the only job that's going to be available for you in America. And they're going to be paying you pennies of the dollar, just like they did with the immigrants. Watch what I tell you. And please don't pull the bullshit in the comment section talking about some, well, it's coming to a door near you. You act like you exempt and I never said I was exempt. Never. But I tell you what, when it does come, watch this. I'll be prepared because I'm a nigga. I mean, that's what you want to call me anyway, for you non-blacks. I know how to survive. Black people know how to survive. But guess what? You non-blacks don't. You don't. You don't know what it's like to go without eating. Well, see, not only am I black, and I know what it's like to go without or don't have shit, but I'm also conditioned. Like throughout all these years, I've been detoxing. So I've conditioned my body. I can go a couple of days without eating. Can you? I'm starting my detox tomorrow. And the only thing I'm going to eat is fruits and vegetables for the next probably about 30 days. Can you do that? See, if need be, I can survive off of the land. I can eat just fruits and vegetables. Can you do it? I've done it. I've gone 40 days without eating a cooked meal, straight up raw. I do this every summer. The minimum that I do last summer, this summer, 2024 summer, I did 23 days. The last summer before that, I did 40 days. I've been doing this for the last 10, 15 years. Are you that conditioned? Are you that disciplined to do that and work out? So my body's conditioned. When I wake up every morning, you know what I eat? I eat watermelon and pineapple. That's it. Until about 1 o'clock. That's my word. And today I ate, for lunch, I had some string beans, kale, onions, and some portobello mushrooms, and some quinoa. And I'm Gucci. And then tonight I'm going to have some garbanzo beans. And I'm Gucci. Can you do that? I know how to survive. I know what it's like to not have, but I'm also conditioned. I'm disciplined. Can you do that? Straight up. And lights, without electricity, shit, I've experienced that for a whole month. And prior to that, in the States, I've gone times when I ain't paid, I couldn't afford to pay my motherfucking bill. And shit, they turn the lights off, nigga. One thing that I know for a fact is that black people are gonna survive. But you non-blacks, you ain't used to it. And the last time that there was a crash, you know what I'm saying, and we went into a big recession, niggas was jumping out of buildings, out of fucking 50, 60 story. But you ain't see blacks doing that. Because we know how to cope. You all don't. Yeah, man. Third world country. Who would have ever known that the United States, we definitely going to see the end of her in our lifetime. So for all you people be like, Babylon be falling and all the rest of that shit, however you want to put it, it's the end of an empire. And you know I'm telling you the truth. Whether you like me or not, go ahead, pick on my forehead. Go ahead and pick on my receding hairline. What else? Pick on my nose. Tell me I'm broke. The regular bullshit, like as if the fucking shit don't, like it matters to me. It don't matter to me. It don't. my raggedy dreads and how I need to edge up my face, all that shit don't matter to me. Because I'm going to be all right. Real shit. Ain't no storm. Storm ain't coming. It's already here. And this is the reason why you see a lot of non-blacks going ape shit, because they don't know what to do. They've never been in this situation ever before. Hey, now you know what it's like to be a nigga. Now you know what it's like. You know, when you're on vacation and you pass by those towns and communities where it's poor people and, you know, kids walking around with no shoes on and torn up shirts and shit. Now you gonna feel what it's like. Yeah. Good luck. Out.